Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP Diamond Dallas Page. And you, monkey, you're listening to the Potsy and Tino show. And that's not a bad thing, monkey. That's a good thing. Bang!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Potsy Fans Network brings to you the tag team champions of the world. The road dog Tino Gray, the badass Rob Potsy Podchak. That's right. The new age, old age, ass boys. No, we're not the ass boys. The Potsy and Tino show. Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
Did you see the tweet with one of the gun sons? It's like, I finally found Danhausen in my dad's phone. He's like, I never find it.
It's Dan House in. Our theme song, as always, is brought to you by Adam's House Cats, called The Wrestling Song. It's available on iTunes for 99 cents. Tino, we had a good week.
Oh, we had a fantastic week.
We had
a ball.
We had a blast. We did not have as much of a blast as our friend Jason. But we did have a blast.
Yeah.
We had a blast. It was a good time. What's going on, Justin? What is going on, sir? We're trying something a little new. We're in the living room, so if the sound is a little bit off or anything, you're just gonna have to deal with it.
We're sorry.
We're
trying new things.
We're working on getting my Yeti X to work and my Logitech camera, but as of right now,
we're using the camera on the iPad, which isn't that bad. It's just we just gotta be like together.
Yeah, we literally are. We're sitting on a couch, one cushion, like no separation of the cushions. You know what? We are going to put a divider though between us right there.
Okay, there you feel better now.
I do. I feel safe.
Shut up. Then I gotta feel safe from you. My wife always makes sure Rob doesn't go past second base.
Yeah, no past second base.
Tell him no means no. I'm like, okay.
Tino never says no though.
So. I say no, Rob, stop. It's my no square.
I still don't that no square. Like, anyways, Tino, my friend.
What's up, Rachel? So wow, it was Christmas this past weekend, which was awesome. Children got spoiled, as usual. Wife got spoiled, and then we went to what else were we doing? My father-in-law's for Christmas dinner. Yesterday was awesome because it was my grandmother's 90th birthday, dude. So I went, took Nicole and Matthew, went down, saw my uncles and cousins, and we just had a big celebration for my grandmother, which was awesome, dude. And she was so happy and surprised. She knew we were doing something. She didn't know quite what it was. And so it was awesome. I mean, 90 years. 90. Yeah, dude. We were thinking about all the things she's seen, especially growing up in the South. So we figured, she's born in 1931, 32. Yeah, so she's been like the post-Depression, then up through like in the South. So she went all the segregation, Jim Crow, civil rights. She went through all that. It's just amazing to think about. She was alive during all that.
Did she buy stock in Apple?
No, she should have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting here now. I don't think.
Wow.
I'd be rich.
So we wouldn't be friends?
My past might have grown different. Everything happens for a reason.
That's true. So yeah, it was Christmas. Did you get anything good?
Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
What'd you get?
I got the Call of Duty game. I got hat. I got money.
Is it that hat?
Was it this? No. I got a Haley got me a Gibson hat, which is a Gibson guitar, and I got a New York Giants hat. And my father-in-law got me another Carolina hat.
Giants.
Yeah, Giants in our house, dude. I know you what's your professional team?
I don't have a pro team. So, not anymore. Growing up, I was a San Francisco 49ers fan.
Trying to think. I got a lot of good stuff. Let's just trying to think.
Speaking of pro football, did you hear the news?
What?
John Madden passed away today.
Oh yeah, today.
Yeah.
I thought he passed away Last week, because they were doing the John Madden thing.
No, that's what makes it so weird. Is Fox did the All Madden
I thought they did that because he passed away.
No.
Oh, he just passed
No,
away.
he literally he must have watched that and then he just passed away right after.
I'm done.
He's like boom, you know.
I hope they don't do. I hope Paul Heyman didn't follow suit because they did that. They did. No, that's too soon.
Did you know that a professional wrestler actually was on the All Madden team once? Actually, probably more often than once because Kevin Green was probably on it. But there was one person who never played football that I know of that made the All Madden team as a manager.
Never played football. Who?
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Like 1991, I think it was. He actually made the All Madden team. He was that good that year.
Oh, I got the WWE 2K20 and I'm already pissed. It didn't glitch. I just can't figure out controls and I can't get my ass beat.
Game is broken as shit.
I'm hoping the 2022 goes back to the Raw Superstar controls.
There's a lot of talk that they're going to simplify the controls of that game and everything, but
yeah, because I couldn't keep up, man. I kept getting beat. I couldn't get up. I couldn't block, reverse. He just kept beating on me. And if I got up, I was able to get my blows in. But what do you say? Sorry, dude. It's nice knowing you, Jason. There, we can kick people off.
No, you leave Justin alone, man. So last week was my birthday.
Yeah.
You know, we had a group of people that got together to go to AEW Dynamite.
Dude.
And it was a good time.
I think I told you what surprised me the most. And dude's only had 2 matches now.
Oh geez, yeah, we'll get to that though. We'll get to that.
God,
we'll get to that because now even the WWE is trying to steal the thunder out of that. Did you see it?
No.
So all right, everybody who doesn't know, there's this new thing out there where it's send hook, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody goes like this, puts their hand up like this, and just starts yelling send hook.
And they were fine, so I was watching TV.
And I mean, like it was a massive reaction for this kid who literally has had. Now, 2 matches.
And they're chanting, "We want Hook, we want Hook." And A, he's supposed to be a heel. 2, he's only had 2 matches.
Yeah, we'll get to it though, because we got to see a great Dynamite.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, you get Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy,
and who came out?
Well, we'll obviously talk about that when we get to wrestling. But we hung out with Jason.
Yes.
And we hung out with our buddy Shavar.
Yes.
Shavar is I won't talk about his exploits, but I will say that Shavar showed up just as like Dark Elevation was being taped, and I thought he was asleep. He literally had a hoodie on.
And 7:45 he goes, "Going to get some grub."
Yep. But he even said, "I'm going to go before Dynamite to get food." But yeah, so we did that. Christmas came and went. Spent Christmas Eve with my family. Spent Christmas Day with my family.
Nice.
I don't get gifts anymore from my family. My mom gave me money. She gave me a pocket knife. Okay, it's engraved with my name on it.
That's cool.
And yeah, it's from like the Virgin Islands. It made me feel 12 again because
it's your home security.
Yeah. you mean the doorbell camera isn't enough? So mom got me a pocket knife. My nephew actually got me those chocolates right there, which I thought was crazy because
wrong button. That was me. I was trying to mute my watch and hit the iPhone finder here. Because I don't want anybody beers. These Ferrero Rochers. So funny story about these. When Nicole and I first started dating, she told me that she liked Ferrero Rochers. So
you were looking for them, and because it's spelled Rocher, you couldn't find them.
No. So every birthday, anniversary, blah blah blah. Finally, she's like, don't get me anymore.
I don't need them anymore. Okay, got it.
Now we can, but I was getting them for the first
for everything.
Yeah, for everything.
For everything.
She's like, okay, I'm done.
So did all that, had a blast at Christmas and everything. And I got an email. So No, it's good. It's good email. So I got an email, like a couple months ago. I talked to a producer about stuff, and like just kind of let it go. I messaged him once every so often just to keep the iron hot. And so he messaged me back and said, hey, in the beginning of the new year, let's talk about some stuff. Don't know what it means, don't know what's going on, but
All right.
But if and right now the whole idea is animation with junior high horrors. We'll see where that goes. But I got another idea that I think would make a really good TV show.
Is it the story right now? Exit.
Exit 49. So I'm gonna talk to him about that one too if I get a chance, because I think that one has a better chance of just getting somebody to sit there and go, I want to be involved with that. You
need a narrator for those. You know how some they have like the narrator like leading into the stories. You need a narrator for those when you get it on TV. Somebody with the voice.
So I need Morgan Freeman, is what you're saying.
That's awesome, dude.
And then with the comic stuff, Mandalorian yesterday was the last day that people had to order it. So reached out to, I did what I normally do, which is I have an actual mailing list that I send out to of all the different comic shops that I've been able to get the information for. And I emailed them saying, hey, here are the covers, here's the solicitation, here's what we do for you guys. If you guys, and I even gave them like a 6-page preview of it so they could actually see like the artwork and everything from it.
Did you know Ultimate Comics is in Crabtree now too?
Yeah.
So they still have their store in Buckjump on
yeah.
Because Nicole's like it was smaller. She said she didn't know. I'm not sure that's probably just a bigger.
So the Ultimate Comics in Crabtree, like I don't want to talk their business, but it took over the Think Geek spot.
Yes, that's what she said. Yeah.
So it's a decent. I mean, it's a good sized location for a comic shop, but they wanted to leave it wide open, so there's not like tables or anything. And I think that like if they decide to stay there after Christmas, because I think it's just like. They were doing it for Christmas or whatever. I don't know what their lease terms are. They could have a 5-year lease for all I know. But it like good on them.
The cool thing about the one in Buckjump, I like you can go in that back room and get like the back issues and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's just if you go into the Buck Jones one, you do have to specifically request Potsy's comic books. So you got to order them early because otherwise, for whatever reason, they just don't buy them. But
oh wow!
But at least we got the one off of Capitol Boulevard that carries all my stuff.
Which one is that? That
Ultimate Comics. Okay. Yeah. That's the one run by Dan and Casey. But like Alan's doing great with the shops. He's now co-owner of I think 2, and he's owner of 3 or whatever. So I mean, like, good on that man.
The comic shop by my place too, and I gotta get the name of that.
Frankie's.
Over in Apex?
Yeah, Frankie's. I got to talk to them actually because they just reached out to Keen Spot about doing like specialty covers and stuff.
Nice.
So, and I'd love to get a Frankie's exclusive cover because I'll go do signings or whatever. But
you're right around the corner of me. I'll walk over there.
It's like a brand new shop.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that should be Frankie's. So Mandalorian orders are due this week or like due now. Like they might have been able to get an extension. I don't know, but the orders are supposed to be in by yesterday. So over the next week or so, I should start seeing what the numbers and the figures look like for that. Let's see. There's one other thing. And my buddy Griffin, who I met, just happened to be in the comic shop one day over off of Capitol, talking to him about a project that he had. He wanted to call it Immortal. And I was like, you can't call it Immortal because
that's yours.
I already have a book called Immortal. So he actually changed the name of it, put a proposal together, and I introduced him to Keen Spot, and now his book is solicited through Keen Spot for a March release.
Oh,
so
look at you.
So yeah, it's going to be another one of the books that I edit. So that Ninjas and Robots and Orange Blossom Monkey Clan. And then of course, I'm writing junior high horrors and Immortal, which I've already written most of, but now we're starting to see some of the preview artwork from Rob Nico, so I'm pretty excited about all that.
Cool.
Yeah. So some interesting news. I don't have the banner on here for GameStop, but so GameStop is putting more COVID restrictions back in place.
Omicron.
They're forcing the employees all to wear masks again. I think that was already a rule, but they're limiting the amount of people that can be in the store at one time, and basically going back to what they were. And I think it's supposed to start after New Year's. But good news for GameStop store managers is the company once again held to their idea that store managers should be off on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Yes.
So good on them.
So just store managers, so the store will still be open.
The store will still be open.
Okay.
But it'll be run by the other key holders that day. So the assistant manager and the third key will run the stores. When I ran the stores back then, and sorry folks, I see that light in the background. Like if I get up, I'll
get it.
You want to get that?
I'll get it.
And then you know what? Pull that string right there.
Okay.
And let's put some fan on in here too, because it's I don't know about you, but I'm sweating pretty good. This is
that one.
The first
No, that light.
Yeah, that was it. And then that all right, which should be that one.
This one?
Yeah, that one. There we go.
You want to
Maybe hit it one more time. Yeah, there we go. So I apologize for the. Whoa.
Sorry.
This thing's old. I don't know if it can take pushing like that.
It means sorry.
It definitely like leaves.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't do that. We haven't even been drinking yet. I just got off work. So yeah. So you know, good news to all those GameStop people out there that, you know, like the managers finally get a little bit of time off.
Nice.
And what some of the stores or district managers were doing was actually saying, hey, work Sunday through Thursday. So work your 5 days in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Get Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off.
Oh, okay.
And then work another 5 days. So they're trying to actually, you know, after working like every day over Christmas, you know, from November on,
trying to give you some time.
Trying to give you a little bit of time off. So
they're trying. I mean, that's cool. So
good on them. Yeah. How many people? All these stores don't have employees right now because of what they pay and everything. So you know, like.
Well, I was supposed to have a show New Year's Eve, but the restaurant, the venue I was supposed to play, over half their staff's out with COVID.
I guess it's a good thing I decided not to say I was going to go out there then.
Well, because I'm not playing. But yeah, he was like, and even he was like, and they were like, the second part is a lot of the people that, while they tested positive, they don't have. They're
asymptomatic.
So they can physically, but they can't because they tested positive for COVID. So I'm like, oh man. But which means I'm out
$300, $400.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you hear that the NBA actually now is considering letting asymptomatic players play?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they've also somewhere CDC has cut down for vaccinated people if you get COVID, the quarantine from 10 to 5 days.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense because, like, you know, like I told you, I was like, I'm not even gonna get tested, like if I feel, you know, because like 2 weeks ago or whatever, I had a cold for like 3 days, and I was like, you know, no one else got sick around me, so whatever. But you know,
and a lot of those college basketball games are getting postponed.
Well, college football games, like the college football playoff. I don't know if anybody heard this. I think this is hilarious. The college football playoff. If one team can't play, they're not putting another team into it.
That team wins.
They're forfeiting the game.
Yeah.
And so the joke was that Alabama and Georgia had outbreaks.
Oh God.
And they're playing in two separate, like opposite games, right? Mm-hmm. So the joke was that Michigan and Cincinnati could then play for the national championship. And just imagine Cincinnati, a non-Power 5 team, well, what about this? If Michigan couldn't play that game because they end up having COVID or whatever, Cincinnati becomes the national champion without ever playing a game for the championship. And of course,
that would be awesome.
Of course, me being a Notre Dame football fan and Notre Dame being number 5, I'm like, those bastards should put them in. Let them play for the national championship. Especially now that the coach quit and everything else is be like, fuck you, Brian Kelly.
Yes. Stupid.
It's so good though, man. It's so good. So I didn't watch Monday Night Raw last night. I didn't get a chance to because, you know, like I do my karaoke and then I had to work late today.
I think I fast forward. I mean, it wasn't really much to talk about.
I heard that it wasn't good. Like they had like a string of good Raws in a row, and they're down like half the staff because like Seth Rollins has COVID, which means Becky Lynch can't show up, which means this person can't. You know, like they just did a show at Madison Square Garden.
A lot of the people,
and they had to fly Edge in so that they could actually have somebody be there. And apparently they put a cage match on between him and Kevin Owens that tore the house down.
And that's why because Kevin Owens was like I hit on Madison Square Garden last night and I won. You don't have to watch it, just trust me on that. So I get it now. I didn't know he wrestled Edge. But so the two highlights of last night that I enjoyed was obviously RK Bro.
RK Bro, yeah.
Because they're in the ring and Randy
hugged him.
Yeah. So but he's trying to get, but he's like he had this card. He goes, "There's no way in hell I'm going to open that card, right?" And so he's talking. So Randy goes while Riddle's talking, and so Riddle handed it to him, and Riddle's like this, and went whoop. It's like little things like that. And so finally at the end, he won. They both won their matches against the separately against the Alpha Dicks. And
Otis turned 30 today.
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday,
happy
Otis.
birthday, no neck. But
But he hit him. Yeah.
So after the match, he goes, "Birthday present, no Christmas present is a hug." And Randy's like, "No." So I'm like, "Randy," he goes, "Nobody has to know, Randy. I won't tell anybody." And everybody, he's like, and Randy's like, "All these people here." He's like, "Give the people what they want." I'm like, "Oh, that's the AEW dig. Give the people what they want." So he gives them a hug, and then right when he finishes up, he goes like this, and he goes, "Almost," and then he gave him a hug, and he kissed him on the side of the head, and then got out of the ring. I mean, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna turn on that quick."
You know, like everybody's already talking about like when Randy Orton finally turns on Matt Riddle, and you and I have already talked about it. Like we truly feel that the right way for the WWE to go with it is Matt Riddle to turn on Randy.
Yes.
And when he does it, I want Randy to come out the following week, grab the microphone, and be like, "Riddle, I'm not even mad. I'm not even upset. I should be because you hit me with my own finisher, the RKO. But I'm not mad because you learned something. You learned how to be a snake.
Yeah.
Maybe even a viper." And then, you know, like have Riddle come back out, Riddle be all nice and happy and, you know, bro, you know, that whole bro, you know, like all that all over again. Yeah. And Randy and, you know, because the crowd is going to be like, hug it out. And they might, and then Riddle will turn on him again. And because everybody expects Randy Orton to turn on Riddle, and I don't want to see that. Under no circumstance do I want to see that. But that guy, NXT. Oh yeah, so I did watch NXT last week, and so you said there was another thing from Monday Night Raw you want to talk about.
Well, then Grayson did turn up last night to go against AJ, but the Miz and Maurice, their marriage. And you knew, and
you knew Edge was going to get involved.
Eric Bischoff was, and they let them do their vows.
Wait, Eric Bischoff was there?
He was officiating. And so, yeah, I know, right?
How do they even let that guy show back up, knowing that he's been on AEW like 12 times?
I don't know. So he let Maurice say her vows. He let Edge say his vows.
You mean Miz?
Miz. No, Maurice. Oh, I said Edge. Maurice, and then the Miz.
Right,
and then he's like, "Well, if anybody else is opposed to this," he goes, "What the hell? We all know what's about to happen." As soon as he said that, Edge's music hit.
Now,
that was perfect.
So do you think that Bischoff said that because it's part of the script, or do you think that Bischoff said it because he's like, "Fuck it"?
And he did. He goes, "Speak now, forever." what the hell? We all know what's about to happen anyway. And this kid. So Edge runs down, and he's like, yeah. He said, even when I called it, you got me. He said, so he goes, so you got me, I got you. He goes, I got a surprise for you. He turns like that. I thought Beth was going to come out. He turned, and then he turned like that to the crowd, and they're all looking around. He goes, no. He goes, I am going to get your ass on Saturday. He said, but you didn't want this to be a white wedding, did you? They started playing the Gangrel music, and Edge did his evil laugh and stepped down. And it wasn't even like a bloodbath. It was like this black shit just fell on.
Did it fall on both of them?
Yeah, it fell on both of them.
Nice.
The bishop was wearing a white suit, but he had sense enough to kind of stand back. Because when Edge said that, Edge goes, you don't want this to be a white wedding, bishop. You see, look at his face, he's like, fuck this. And he stepped back. He stepped back. You gotta find it on YouTube. You gotta find the highlights.
I mean, I probably have it on here. So
the look on his face, he's like, "Fuck no."
That's funny. That's funny.
But yeah, so those are the two highlights of the night.
So I want to ask you something completely off wrestling for a minute. Did you ever watch Dexter?
No, I never did.
Never watched the original season. So you have no interest in the new one.
I mean, I didn't have interest in the before. I might go back now and watch it because I think that came on HBO and I didn't have HBO. I think
Showtime.
I didn't have Showtime.
Yeah.
So I never watched it.
Somehow I ended up getting to where I watched like the last episode live, but Netflix had like 5 seasons of it, so I was like, okay, I'll watch all 5 seasons, and then I was like, how do I get the rest of it, right? And so I had to figure out, like, because we didn't have streaming services back then or whatever. So I had to fit, and then all of a sudden when Shane, Michelle, and I got cable back at the house over at their old house. No, this was still my place in Raleigh when I had that.
But behind by
North Hills.
Okay.
Yeah. When I still had that place, like I guess I signed back up for cable. And I got Showtime for free, so I was able to watch like all of it. And so now the new season's going on, and they brought back the original developer of the show because he left after like season 4,
right? Which
everyone said was like the best season because it had like John Lithgow in it, and he was super creepy. Like he was called the Trinity Killer. And so now the new one is all because like at the end of the whole series, like Dexter just disappeared, like he got away with it.
Okay.
Because the premise, right?
Yeah.
He works for the police department, but he's a serial killer. Well, he hasn't killed anybody in 10 years, right? So the new season starts, and it's called New Blood.
Now, is the original Dexter back?
Yeah. So
him killing again?
Well, see, that's just it. He hasn't killed in 10 years.
Okay.
But then all of a sudden, like, he ends up hearing a story about a kid who was driving a car and caused like the death of like 6 or 7 people due to like alcoholism or whatever.
So when he was a cop, was he killing bad guys or was he just killing to kill?
So the whole concept of the show was that he was a serial killer who killed bad guys.
Okay.
So people that got away with murder, got away with bad crimes or whatever the case. So
and the reason I was asking because you said this kid killed somebody while drinking, so I'm like, is that why it brings him out of retirement? I guess
it is actually what brings him. Well, it's because like the kid is an asshole too. Like so he's like, now Dexter's Jim, and he's like, come on, Jim, just sell me the gun. And he's like, sorry, man, you got a 3-day hold on your license. I can't sell you the gun. He's like, man, my dad owns this town. You could sell me the gun. Come on, Jim. And then of course, like his thing passes, so guess who gets told, hey, you got to go deliver the gun. So of course, it's pissing him off anyway, because like the kid, when I say kid, I'm talking like 26, 27-year-old, like guy from New York City who is a day trader or something. So he's like Wolf of Wall Street asshole kind of guy, right? So yep, we're talking Dexter. So he conveniently kills the kid, right? Like
conveniently.
Well, he tries to set it up the way that he always set it up back in Miami, but there's snow all over the place. So of course he kills the kid, and he's moving the body, and he's dripping blood all over the snow. You know, and he's like, I really hate the snow. You know, like you
Yeah.
hear the inner monologue from him from time to time. So he's like, I really hate the snow. Like Miami never had this problem. You know, like and he,
Yeah.
you know, so and so I really like the show
Okay.
because every week there's a twist or a turn that makes you sit there and go, oh, he's gonna get going, oh, you know, and somehow he, you know, made it 8 seasons and got away with it, right? Well, now in the new one, it's 10 years later. He makes his first kill, and then it turns out that his dad, pretty much, no, the
kid's dad.
The kid's dad owns the town. So he finds out that Dexter killed his kid.
Oh.
But turns out he's also a serial killer.
Mm.
So you literally have these two super creepy bastards.
Yes.
Like literally at a meeting of the minds where, you know, all of a sudden you see Dexter sitting there eating a cup of soup or something, and in comes, and he's played by Clancy Brown, the same guy that played the Kurgan in the original Highlander, and he's in everything, right? And he's always like the general or something.
Yeah.
Well, here he's the guy that runs the town. So he sits down and he's like, you know, in a different world, Jim, I think you and I might have been really good friends. And of course, Jim's like, in his inner monologue, he's like, I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch. You know, like, but yet he's like, I don't know, Kurt. I don't know if you and I ever would have been friends. We might have been friendly, but I don't know if we'd ever be friends, kind of thing. And you know, Kurt brings over a slice of pie, and Dexter starts eating the pie, and he's like, I will give him credit. His place does make a mean pie. You know, like just dumb shit. But what I love it because like there's moments like that where you're like, man, this really is like, because when John Lithgow's character was found out being like the massive serial killer, he was like priest or whatever,
right?
You know, so he was doing all this good for the, you know, for the community type stuff. And the way that they figured out that he was the Trinity killer was that like every so often he would move to another town, and then people start dying there.
But start tracing,
So Dexter was able to trace it all down, kind of stuff. Well, here, like, it's too convenient because like Dexter left his old life, left his family, left everything. So he had a baby that stayed with his not baby mama, but his girlfriend at the time, who also killed people until she realized, okay, I killed all the people that I needed to kill. I don't want to kill anymore. So she went and started to, and it was Yvonne Strahovski from Chuck. So super hot blonde chick. Anyways, so apparently she dies before this season starts. So Harrison, the kid, suddenly just randomly is like 17 now. Doesn't make sense based on how old he was 10 years ago. But you know, it's TV. We can let it slide. But he just randomly shows up in town and finds his dad. No one else in 10 years has been able to find this guy, but damn it if the kid doesn't find him in 5 minutes.
That's awesome. All right, I'll check it out.
So it's a lot of fun. I think they said there's 2 episodes left. It's 8 episodes in already, and I'll tell you
what is it on?
It's on Showtime.
Oh, still.
Okay. So yeah, they brought it back to the same network that originally had it. If you want it, you can use mine. It's fine. You know, to watch it. But yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun watching that.
That's cool.
And then I started watching. You know, you walked in tonight, and I'm watching a show called Evil.
I'll start watching that tomorrow.
And Evil is all about like a priest who's trying to a guy who's trying to become a priest, who works for the church, who's trying to figure out whether or not all these people that want exorcisms for their family members or whatever actually are demon possessed, so they need an exorcism, or if it's all a hoax so that they can get out of prison time and all this other shit.
Got you.
So it's a pretty interesting show. And I've been enjoying it so far. And like that one's 13 episode seasons. So, but last week NXT 2.0.
I'm trying to remember, dude.
Matt Riddle
is the shaman.
Is the shaman
of
MSK.
Okay, I got that.
And he's like,
"What's in the bag?"
He's like, "Bro, I brought us
the
scooters." And he's like, yeah, the stallions. He's like, I brought us stallions. So it's like it reminds me of Bill and Ted.
Yeah,
like a whole Bill and Ted thing with.
But it's so cool because MSK, because they're bits and pieces of their characters from when they were on Impact. On Impact,
the
Rascals, they were stuck in treehouse smoking pot pretty much. They were potheads, and so now they're going back that element, the potheads, which fits right in
with
Riddle. So that's probably it's hilarious.
Yeah, that was a good time. I loved
the street fight. Was that the street fight with Braun's girlfriend?
Indy Hartwell.
No, Braun Strowman's girlfriend. His girlfriend's
Raquel.
And what's her face?
And Dakota Kai. Yeah, that was the beginning of the episode. That was a pretty strong cold open, as they like to call it. No. I really liked the interaction between Grayson Waller and AJ Styles. Yes. I thought it was great.
Yes.
Like first of all, AJ Styles doesn't, in his entire career, he's now made 2 appearances on NXT.
He went straight to the main roster. He never went through NXT.
Right. And Chris Barrett's up. What's going on, Chris Barrett?
You said before you switched back, I said, what's up, Barrett?
Oh, he said, what's up with that? I don't know. What's he talking about? What's up with that? The interaction though, where Grayson Waller's sitting there saying stuff like, "Oh, well, you don't have your muscle anymore," and what's that mean for you, AJ? And, and
that's why I'm like, remember last week when we were
when I told you I couldn't talk about AJ?
Yeah, we were discussing whether AJ was going to be face or heel. I thought he was going to be face, and you thought almost was going to be face. Well, Grayson, we know WWE doesn't like face and heel and heel. So Grayson is he's an established heel on NXT because what he did to Gargano. And then they brought him over on Raw last night as a heel too. And they had AJ face Apollo Cruz's
Aziz.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, that's why I'm thinking they're gonna make AJ the face of this. Live with him and Omos.
Well, I think him and Omos is done. Like,
really?
I don't like why does AJ have to continue doing jobs?
That's the thing. I don't think
did you see what he did at Madison Square Garden against him?
Against Omos?
Yeah.
Also, they already faced each other. So I didn't know that.
Well, they were supposed to face each other on Raw last night.
Yes.
But but over the weekend with house shows, AJ actually went into the ring with a chair and hit Omos multiple times with the chair, and Omos, like after he got hit over the back of the chair, it just goes like just anger, like just coming out of his own shell, and then AJ was like, no. He threw the chair to Omos, and he fell backwards, and he landed in the leg of the referee to turn the referee around.
Eddie Guerrero'd
him, and Omos was like, so
nice.
So I now, like, I think that you're right. AJ is gonna be a babyface, but I don't think that it was originally meant to be that way. It's just again.
But I think too, they're trying to. I think the whole Grayson Waller is to give Waller a rub while he is getting booed heavily. If they are planning on moving him up to the main roster, I think they're doing the right thing by putting him against AJ, because AJ can carry him and make him look like $1 million.
Well, AJ can. We know that AJ will.
Yes.
The other thing is that there's no guarantee that Gargano's coming back. Like there's now talk that Gargano.
I think his contract's up too. I think he better.
Gargano expired. Yeah. He actually signed for another 2 weeks to be part of War Games.
Yeah.
And he only did that because one, he wants to keep a good working relationship with them.
And his wife's still there.
If he chooses, and his wife still works there, who now that she's out on pregnancy leave means that she still owes that much extra time on her contract.
Yeah.
They haven't said anything about that yet, so they may just let her go. But right now, I would say that, like, if they want Gargano back for at least another year, they'll play that card. They will. But he really did it because that Gargano, Ciampa, I mean, even Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, all those guys.
King of Ring of Honor or something.
Yeah, but that's not. They've all developed really, really great working relationships with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels is their idol.
Yeah.
Like all those guys, because Shawn Michaels was the epitome of
Small
the
guy.
small worker
Yeah.
that ended up making it big in the WWE. And let's be real, he still gets anything he wants from Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
You know, so like all of these guys are willing to do that one little extra bit
For Shawn.
for Shawn, for Hunter, for you want to try the other one?
I'll try a little bit of
All right, you can try that one. Cask Strength.
For Shawn and Hunter, yeah. Go ahead.
So I think that they're willing to do anything for those two guys, and it's because, I mean, they grew up watching them.
Yeah.
You know, like they're their idols. They're sitting there going, Tony Khan's great. Tony Khan never got in the ring.
Exactly.
Shawn Michaels is the reason why I do this. So
Shawn Michaels is the GOAT.
One of. You know, it's so hard to say who actually is the greatest of all time at this point. You know, like I think that, yeah, maybe one of these times we do a special where you and I talk about our top 4 and our Mount Rushmore or whatever. But I mean, like
but that's different. I got a Mount Rushmore of talkers on the mic. I got a Mount Rushmore wrestlers.
Around Mushmore.
Yeah, I got a
Mushmore.
I got a couple of different Rushmore.
Well, and I guess that's the easy way to look at it. I think that if you sat there and said, I have a top 10 of all time,
oh yeah,
overall, like that's kind of where you have to be with it.
Yeah.
And I don't even like sitting there saying this guy's better than that.
Yeah.
You know, because like for me, I grew up north. I'm not gonna sit there and say that Ric Flair is my favorite wrestler of all time, because I only got to see him in the '91 Rumble. And I was like, who's this old dude that's got flabby titties?
See, and I grew up in the South, so
you were like, Dusty Rhodes has
it's
flabby titties.
Dusty Rhodes is my number one.
And yet when I see him in WWE, I'm like,
yeah,
bring me out that fire, baby.
Yeah, but you didn't. But all that stuff before that, man, Dusty was the man.
But you know, I grew up with Bret Hart,
yeah,
Shawn Michaels, you know, and I got out of it when it was like Diesel and Razor Ramon and all that garbage.
See, I came up with the Flairs and the Wyndhams and the Ricky Steamboats and the Dusty Rhodes, you know, Magnum TAs. I came up. That's before I discovered WWE.
Yeah, well,
WWE.
right, because you had TBS, so
yeah,
you would watch them. You didn't have USA,
yeah,
or if you did have USA, you didn't care, because it's like grandma, when she watched pro
yep,
wrestling, made you watch
yep,
TBS at 6:05 every Saturday night. You know, like I know how it is.
Yeah.
Like I had WWF superstars on Saturday mornings, yep, at like 10 o'clock after my cartoons are done.
Yep.
Especially the good cartoons, you know, like Voltron and all that stuff. Like after that, you had superstars. And right, it was like, that's why back then it was okay to have cartoon characters as your pro wrestlers. Yeah. As soon as they started putting them in primetime, nobody wants to sit there and watch Duke the Dumpster Droese.
Because I started watching like the Hulk Hogan's and the
Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling,
Big Boss Man and all the
Big Boss Man was awesome.
Yeah.
Him and Akeem.
Yeah.
With the African Dream, the one man gang. Isn't that funny?
A job soul, bro.
and he literally was made. He literally was made as a joke against Dusty Rhodes in the WWE.
Which one?
Akeem the African Dream. Because you had Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream.
Dang, I didn't even know it. Wow. Why is it that I'm this old? I'm this old and just got that.
You just memed.
Yeah, I'm
Tino's a meme now, folks.
I'm this old and just realized that King African Dream was a play on Dusty Rhodes. Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, because he used to do the flip. Yeah. Oh, shit.
He literally did the same elbow and everything.
Yeah.
Actually, he went even, you know, because Dusty Rhodes is like, and bam, you know, but Akeem was like,
yeah.
And then he was,
damn.
Yeah, man.
That's
like,
all. Yeah.
Isn't it funny too? Because when you think about it, like Junkyard Dog didn't really change his character too much.
No.
But except he stopped talking, and he only ever, and then he started wearing a chain around his neck because Vince is racist.
I'm trying. Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know, but like so many of those guys, like when Vince first took over, he kept them as who they were because they were already over.
And people knew who they were.
When he'd already established WWF as the dominant, like everywhere, when you came in, you had to do what he said.
Not Flair.
You had to learn to eat shit and like it.
Not Flair though.
Flair came in with the title. Vince was going to let him be Ric Flair so that he could come in saying, I'm the official world champion.
Yep.
You know, $25,000 belt on his shoulder.
Well, I think he was trying to get. He was
sticking it to Ted Turner.
Because when Medusa went and jumped that title in the trash.
Yeah, but that was
after.
That was after.
That was after. Okay.
Yeah, because that was
right.
Bischoff.
That was
sitting
right.
there.
That was right.
Bischoff paid her like $50,000 to do that. You know, so it's crazy when you think about it. And NXT 2.0. You had like I said, you had the Matt Riddle appearance, you had the AJ Styles appearance. I don't know if that was to get ratings up. Like the AJ Styles one, I think might be
that. I think, like I said, they're trying.
They're gonna move him pretty quick.
You're trying to get Grayson Waller.
Because isn't he also the guy that like took the girl from LA Knight?
Yes.
Yeah. So like they're definitely.
Although
I heard
strap a rocket on his back.
Yeah, and it's funny too because like LA Knight's the guy that you would think that they would strap a rocket to because he's got the southern drawl a little bit, but then he's got the rock look, you know.
Yeah.
And
even though
I know eat, I break.
Even when he was heel, I like that character. I like his persona. I like, you know what I'm saying? I cheer for him still.
It's a throwback to the Rocks and the Austins. Because let's be real.
Let me talk to you.
When Austin was first starting out as Stone Cold Steve Austin, it was Brian Pillman that went out there and said, I see what you're doing out there, babyface. And he's like, I ain't no babyface, son. And he's like, oh, you're a babyface. He's like, I ain't no babyface. He's like, Steve, they're popping for you. You're a baby.
Speaking of Steve, did you go back and watch the
DDP? I did. That's why we launched with DDP tonight.
Did you see the cookie story?
Dude, you didn't tell me that the cookie story was at the very beginning of the whole thing.
Yes.
And I gotta ask, what the hell happened to Diamond Dallas Page's voice? Like when they show him in AWA.
Oh yeah, it's not that gravelly.
And he's sitting there, and he's Diamond Dallas Page sitting here telling you, Daddy, that you're gonna do this.
I think it's all the cigars and drinking. I think he got older.
I think that all those wrestlers go, you know what'll sound good? If I sit there and I talk like this, and all of a sudden their voice does that. Like it just gets to the point where
Austin's. I think he's always talked like that though. Even when he was stunning Steve.
I mean, when he was stunning Steve, he was a little bit more like this, and now he's a lot like this. You know what?
So, but DDP's got that voice. Man.
What?
DDP, boy, back in the day, he's
what?
I'm gonna slap this.
You already did.
I'm gonna slap you again.
No, ain't gonna do it.
But anyway, so what else happened on NXT?
I don't remember.
Did we get?
We got Ciampa and Braun Breaker. And I'm gonna tell you, I loved
Ciampa's getting ready to be heel. I think.
I think he is, and it's because like you can't boo Breaker, but you can't boo Ciampa either.
But if you notice, Ciampa.
Did you see his new shirt?
Yeah, Ciampa for a while.
I want that shirt.
Hadn't done the whole. He's had it, but when he was heel, this was the Ciampa with the belt. He started doing that last Tuesday again.
Well, he did it because Braun took the damn thing from him. He took the damn thing from him. But and I like when he slapped the shit out of Braun Breaker, and then he like took 3 steps back. He's like, "Oops." Really good NXT show.
Yes.
From what I remember of it. They like I love that it's getting back to what it originally was supposed to be. You know, a lot of people don't. I don't like the neon colors and all that shit.
I don't like that they're pushing the stars are like out. But I get it. They're trying to push newer wrestlers. You know what I mean?
I don't think they are pushing them all out. Almost every single one of the guys that was there before. Yes, they lost War Games, but Ciampa beat Braun Breaker in his first match. Yeah. LA Knight won. Cameron Grimes is winning matches.
Well, Cameron's always been my dude, though.
I know Cameron's always been your dude. He had to grow on me with the $1 Million Man storyline. I wish they would have kept $1 Million Man around for him.
But see, now you like Grimes.
But not now that he cut his hair.
It's still Grimes.
It's
It's a too dumb move.
Yeah, when he did that at the thing and then cut his hair, I was down for that. But like a lot of those new guys aren't getting over. Like the schoolboy.
Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like I'm not the what's his name? Grace Gacy. I don't like him.
He's gonna be something though.
Snowflake and all that. You think so?
He's gonna be something. Like and look at Roderick Strong. What did I say about that title?
You called it. I had to give you that when they said that title because it is going to be title for title now. You called it.
They're going to combine.
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh,
yep. Because they don't have a 205 division anymore.
Yeah.
So
So who's going to get it? You think they're going to give it to Carmelo? Or do you think they're going to let Roderick get it?
So all right, here's my feelings on it. I don't know how much time Roderick has on his contract.
Do you think Roderick's going to go to AEW? Do you think we're going to have a full UE?
His wife got let go.
We're going to have a full UE.
Dude,
I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about it.
You saw me at the show. I'm sitting here going like this.
I went back and watched. Did you go back and watch the shows? I went back. I can see you a couple times. I can see me a couple times.
I'm on TV.
Yep.
I'm on TV. And I'm sitting there on TV like this. I'm like UE baby. I'm sitting there like throwing it up there and what the hell?
Let's do it. I'm just ready for it, man.
Just one more thing. The Tommaso Ciampa stuff.
He's gonna be heel.
Ciampa's so good, man.
He is. He is.
Like he's doing the best with shit. Like he's given shit to talk about.
But you think Braun shit?
No. Braun is the future.
Okay.
Like just like I think that when they finally bring Gable Steveson up.
Oh my God.
That kid is going to be money.
Yeah.
Like, and if they're smart, and I don't care if you don't like this idea, I'm going to say it right now. You bring him out with Kurt Angle as his manager.
I was going to say bring him out with Kurt Angle music.
Or you bring him out with Paul Heyman.
I think Angle would be make more sense.
Well, if you're going to do that, this is what you do. You put him with Shelton Benjamin, you put him with Cedric Alexander. And you have them be his backup, and you have him start as a massive heel. Because you know that the reason why Kurt ended up as good as he did was because he was a bad guy first. And he was a bad guy that didn't think he was the bad guy.
So you're saying have the Hurt Business as Gabe's backup or Angle's backup?
Team Steveson. Yeah. Like you bring Angle out as the boss. Like you make a whole stable out of that. I'd be down, man.
I can see that.
I'd be down with
I
that.
can see that.
You know, like I and you know what? You want to bring Paul Heyman in, and you want him to sit there and be with Gable Steveson. I'm fine with that too, because nobody's going to be able to teach Steveson more about the business than Paul Heyman, right? Yeah. And Brock Lesnar is so much better than people give him credit for. And this goes back to 2002 when he debuted, man. Like he to this day, like I don't care that he doesn't love the business like some people. You can tell that his whole agenda is to make men and make money.
And I think that WWE is starting to let him be himself and let him talk, let him go. This is the best, and we've said this time and time again. This is the best Brock Lesnar that we've ever seen, in my opinion, because they're letting him be himself.
The best Brock Lesnar we've ever seen was actually when he won
the Money in the Bank,
the UFC title.
Okay, and
he sat there and he said, "I know that Bud Light is the sponsor, but I'm a Coors man, and I'm going to go home and fuck my wife."
Well, I'm talking in WWE.
Oh, I know, but that just shows how much career. Like he legitimately became the first real heel in the UFC that night, and like Dana White was always, I don't want sports entertainers, I don't want this, and boom,
he learned his lesson,
and he learned that a guy by the name of Brock Lesnar, it doesn't matter if he loses every fight he's ever in,
no,
he's going to sit there and bring the money. So
What did your boy say? Butts and seats.
put butts in seats.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm waiting for.
But baby,
Baby.
I sent you out there
Baby.
to sit there and talk to the crowd for 5 minutes, baby. But where's the money? Where's the money? Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you another thing. Going back to Stone Cold podcast, I love when anybody talks about Dusty, they do the Dusty impersonation.
Diamond Dallas Page.
He had it down. He had him down.
You know, we'll sit here. We'll just do this. Go ahead and talk about the podcast.
Oh, no, there's just bits and pieces. That if you haven't seen it on the Peacock Network,
You know who else he does a great impression of is Macho Man.
Yes.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, brother.
He sits there. He tells the story. He's like,
Oh,
when he's like, you had Kevin Nash. He's like, gonna tell you. He's like, see here, I am doing a Macho Man impression. I'm trying to do my Diamond Dallas Page. He's like, all right, here's what happened. I'm sitting there 3 months before it happens. I tell Kev, I'm like, Kev, what if you guys give me the NWO shirt and I drop one of you with the diamond cutter? Diamond, I love it. Go tell Eric. And then he goes, no, I'm not going to tell Eric. I don't know Eric. I can't sit there and tell Eric that. You want the cookies? They're dark chocolate Oreos.
I know, I can feel that.
So then he sits there and he goes to Scott Hall and he's like, Scotty, what do you think about this idea? I give you the diamond cutter. I jump out through the crowd. It'd be great, right? He's like, Diamond, I love it.
Tell Eric.
Go tell Eric, bro. And he's like, I'm not gonna tell Eric. 3 months later, what do? They finally get Diamond Dallas Page to go up to Eric Bischoff, and Eric Bischoff's like, we'll go ahead and we'll run with that. They do it. It makes Diamond Dallas Page a lifelong career loser up to that moment.
Yes. He lost every match.
For like 3 straight years. They even used to talk about it. Like on Nitro, they'd be like, here's a guy going up against Hugh Morris and losing, right? Like I love Bill DeMott, but like Diamond Dallas Page is the WWE Hall of Famer now.
I think he's supposed to match the guys in 3 count too.
Hey, Shane Helms, and maybe. But so he talks about how that moment really cemented him as like one of the guys, because he started his career as a manager, and he finally got told like they're like, Diamond,
you're outshining the stars.
You are doing more than, like, nobody cares about your team.
They're paying more attention to you.
They're paying more attention, and this is Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Like these are the guys that he's with, and they're sitting there going, you're outshining them. And if there's guys that have charisma, and there's guys that have shine, and there are guys that, like Scott Hall, to this day, I still claim is one of the greatest, and I say one of because I think Kurt Hennig actually was better, but one of the greatest to never hold the world title. And unfortunately, his demons, their demons both got the best of them, and they unfortunately never held those world championships. But I mean, like, you couldn't hold a candle to Scott Hall back in the day. And like,
they started on Mo.
I always loved the story about how he got hired by WWF, because they didn't want him because he was like, he had this huge
porn stash.
He had this huge porn mustache, Tom Selleck mustache. And like, when you look at pictures of him, you're like, the fuck? AWA and everything. You're like, what the fuck?
He didn't look the same.
And then all of a sudden, like it was like Dusty Rhodes is like, baby, you should grease the hair back, get rid of that mustache.
Get a toothpick.
And just get a toothpick.
And said they wanted, he patterned that character after the Godfather.
No, not after the Godfather, after Scarface.
Scarface. Sorry, Scarface.
And of course he went to Vince, and Vince was like, I love this. Who is this guy? Where'd this guy come from? I've never seen him before. Well, that's because he completely changed his look over 6 months, and obviously became Razor Ramon from it, right? Like, and you're sitting there going, this guy he was the Diamond Stud.
Yes.
And then there was Vinny Vegas, who was Kevin Nash, and Oz. Terrible gimmicks.
Terrible.
Anyways, so Diamond Dallas Page is sitting here talking about this stuff, and you heard him, monkey. you know, he he's sitting there and like he tells all these stories, and he's and
My favorite.
Go ahead.
No, my favorite story is about Jake and the damn cobra.
I've heard that story like 6 times. So.
Jake was staying with DDP, and then he had this cobra, and then he was like, "No, we can't keep the cobra in the house." And so he talked them into keeping the cobra in the house. They kept it in the bathroom in a tub, and then one day Jake comes out and goes, "Snake got away."
Well, hold on. This is after Diamond Dallas Page is talking about how like Kimberly, his ex-wife, the penthouse pet.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She's sitting there laughing.
How'd you fuck that up?
Well, he's married to something nice now too, but he's like he walks in and he sees Jake the Snake with a cobra, and his wife is laughing at the cobra, and he's like, "Well, all right, if she's okay with it, I guess it's all right to have a cobra in the house." You know?
Then the cobra gets away.
The cobra gets out after the wife goes to go grocery shopping.
And Jake's like, "Well, I gotta go." He had to hit the road, and he's
like, he's gone for 3 days. After he's like, "Oh, the cobra will come out by itself." Don't worry. I'm surprised.
He said, "Needless to say, Jake couldn't stay with us anymore."
Yeah, but could you imagine? So if you go back and you watch this podcast, folks, the whole Broken Skull session with Diamond Dallas Page,
hilarious.
He talks about how Stone Cold Steve Austin, the biggest name in pro wrestling history, is a slob. But he goes, "So I'm breaking up with Kimberly, bro, and I get a phone call, and it's my old friend Steve Austin. He's like, Diamond, I'm coming out to California. I know that you got a place out there." And he's like, "Steve, I'll tell you what, don't ask questions. Kim and I are breaking up. I got a room for you. How about you move in?" He's like, could you imagine the two of them, like if they had just put cameras in the house?
Even DDP said that they were an odd couple, and DDP said, "I was a clean one," and he's like, "I was Felix, and you were Oscar."
and then he told the cookie story, right?
God.
But like, just imagine
those two together.
If they had put cameras in the house.
DDP walking down the road with a
$500 grill.
So I was on my way to the gym, and they say, "I see somebody walking down the street that's pushing the grill." He goes, "I'll be damned, that look like Dallas."
No, he's like, "What the hell is this homeless guy walking a $500 grill down?" And then they turned around, and I look back, and I'm like, "Holy shit, that's Dallas!"
And it's like in a robe.
In his pajama pants.
Because they'd been drinking the night before. Dallas decided he wanted a barbecue, so he went.
Well, no, they said that the barbecue they had was jacked up or something, so he wanted a new one. But literally, like Steve Austin, multi-millionaire.
And DDP.
And DDP sits there and goes, I'll tell you what, bro. I'll go ahead and I'll give you the room for $1,000 a month in LA. And he's like, ain't nowhere that you can get a place for $1,000 in LA. So I was like, fuck yeah, bro, let's do it. Oh, hell yeah. You know, like, it's hilarious.
You guys have to go back and watch it.
I'm not going to ruin the rest of it.
I'm so excited about this AEW Dynamite. I can't contain myself anymore.
So, all right, first match of the night. Boom. 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 That's right. Adam Cole.
Baby.
I mean, dude, there was only one guy that got a pop as big as him. Hook.
That was amazing. And we'll get to that.
Like Sting didn't get the pop that Hook got.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, because that was Rampage.
Yeah.
But anyways, Adam Cole, Orange Cassidy, just the humor elements of the match, like the ring psychology of Adam Cole is off the charts. The guy literally is the second coming of Shawn Michaels, folks. There is no doubt in my mind that he is as good as Shawn Michaels, probably better than Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels wasn't, well, Adam Cole's not in the best shape either. Like he could tone up, right?
Yeah, somebody was saying he had a little gut when he did little.
Well, they were talking about how he was like a skinny fat baby or whatever, you know. But anyways, I think Budge was the one talking about it, because or Silver's talking about it, because when he was calling him Budge, he's like, "We'll cut your hair, we'll put you in a suit, baby arms, whatever." Yeah,
no, arm, baby arm.
Oh, baby arm, yeah. So the match is going off, and you know. Before the whole thing started, Tony Khan actually came out and said, "We got some surprises for you guys." we're in Greensboro. It's the first time they've been in Greensboro. Greensboro's a huge wrestling city.
Oh, yeah, NWA back in that day.
And
Ed Turner, TBS, and all that.
and they had a special guest, David Crockett Jr. was there.
For Friday night. That's Friday night too.
It was, but he was there.
Yeah.
So, but he goes, "We got some surprises for you."
And
all of a sudden, Jason sits there and he's like, he just said surprises, plural, like there's more than one. Okay, Jason, chill
my
out.
favorite time. Okay, I gotta.
That's a great armbar there. Great armbar.
I gotta set this
Go
up.
ahead, do it.
This fool, as always, is on my right.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Jason's to my left, and then Shavar.
Poor
is
Shavar.
at the end.
Poor Shavar. Because like he didn't have at least me to talk to.
Oh yeah, yeah, Jason.
He just had Jason. Because although he did have an open seat next to him.
Yeah. So
place was not sold out.
So I mean, it was probably sold out.
Did you know that the Greensboro Coliseum is the largest indoor coliseum for pro wrestling?
No. And I think it was probably more sold out than the WWE showed it. I mean, there weren't that many seats blocked. There weren't that many seats blocked off.
That was about 85% full.
So,
although the entire third deck was blocked off.
So every time Jason would say something, I got this bitch elbow me in my ribs and laughing.
You're laughing too, though. You're sitting there. You're like,
no.
This son of a bitch, though. I'm going to tell you right now. You never need a heater next to me.
I told you my wife calls me to walk in hot water.
I swear to God, I'm sitting there, and I already said when we do Raleigh, I don't care if it's 4 degrees outside. I'm wearing fucking shorts because I'm sitting there. Okay, first of all,
I'm too big.
We hate these arena seats because the seats are just too small. Sorry, it's a work thing.
Oh,
and I'll explain that when we go off the air.
Okay.
But I was right about something, and
okay,
doesn't even blow my mind on it. But anyways, we
the seats,
like I can sit not comfortably, but I fit in the seat.
I'm bigger.
Tino's a little bit bigger. I tried to put Shavar next to me because it would have given more room to everybody. It would have meant that Tino only had Shavar and seeing more work related stuff. Sorry, but Shavar is like this. Tino is like this. Right? So
300 pounds. Sorry, excuse me.
Okay, Tino's more like this. Shavar's like this. But Tino, I swear to God, had to be 170 degrees. Because I'm not even touching him. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, my leg has sweat dripping down it. And I'm turned as far away as possible. You poured beer on the guy in front of you.
Oh, I felt so bad. So the seats are like, the seats are like this, and then even when you first sit down, your knees are going to hit the back of the seat in front of you. And so
if you're over 5'3".
So I sat down. As soon as I sat and went to turn, a little bit of beer hit the dude. I'm like, he was so cool about it. If he had to been, I'd have bought him anything. I don't, dude. I'll buy you a drink. I'll buy you a damn sandwich. I'm so sorry.
He was gonna buy him a hoodie.
Yes, I was. I would have bought. We'd have gone to the
$60 AEW.
I would have. I felt so bad, but he was so cool.
He was so cool about it. He's like, you think that's the first beer I've had poured on me?
But I think because I think he knew. I was like, dude, how many times did I apologize?
Tino wasn't even drunk.
How many times did I apologize?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, I am so sorry.
But then after he started being super cool about it, I was like, do you want me to pour my beer on?
And the girl who was sitting, we were just laughing we had a ball.
Yeah, we did, except for the fact that he kept holding up his MJF sign in front of Tino.
Right in front of me.
Now, see, I was the last seat, so I had, and for the first time ever, I'm able to sit there and just walk out to the steps, and nobody's sitting there telling me, hey, you need to sit down.
Yeah.
Nobody.
So even when I stood up, because Dad would stand up and he would have his MGF, so I couldn't see shit. Thankfully, they had the TV monitors, I could still see what was going on, and he was having a good time. It wasn't a big deal. I could still see the screen. I mean,
but I did keep saying, Tino, I'll take a step over here.
Oh, yeah.
You take a step over. Because I'm it's my birthday. I want everybody to have a good time.
Yeah. Oh, I had a blast. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, if I'd have said something to
Shavar just like.
Yeah, so Shavar was.
Although he like afterwards, he's like, man, that was freaking awesome. Just and
really.
Oh yeah, dude, he paid attention to everything. And the joke was, someone sat there and said, Shavar probably had a better time than everybody else.
Yes.
but anyway, so anyway, the show we started, like I said, Orange Cassidy, and of course. They tease, you get the run-in, you get the best friends to come down after the Young Bucks come down. The Young Bucks end up getting torn back up to the walkway and everything, and we're sitting there and we're like,
then Bobby Fish comes out.
Well, and I said, you called Kyle O'Reilly coming, but I sat there and I said, if Kyle O'Reilly's coming, it's not going to be until Bobby Fish comes out. And well, the match goes on for like 25 minutes.
And it was an excellent match.
And it was, I mean,
oh my God.
Like I said, the psychology of it, like just the fact that every time Orange Cassidy wants to put his hands in his pants, like Adam Cole is like, no.
And then he tried to put Adam Cole's hands. And then there was
no, he got them.
And then there was a cover where Adam Cole hit him in a move, and he stuck his hands in the bottom of his, and then there was shorts and tried to pin him like that. Then there was one that did the move, and he headlocked him, and he kissed him on it. He was sitting there,
and you would have never thought that like a guy like Adam Cole, like 10 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to have that match.
Really?
Well, no, because like a guy like Adam Cole would be like, no, I got to get my shit in.
Yeah.
I got to get over.
Yeah.
And like he came from Ring of Honor, so I mean, like a guy like Orange Cassidy would have never made it in Ring of Honor, at least at the beginning.
But I think
Adam
Cole gets it.
He
gets it now.
Oh, they all get it now.
Yeah.
They understand ring psychology. They understand the drive,
yes.
the build. They understand that Orange Cassidy has a kid sitting in the front row wearing an Orange Cassidy outfit. Orange Cassidy throws Adam Cole into the side, walks over to the kid and goes,
yes,
and gives him a thumb dab.
Yes.
Like you didn't get that 20 years ago.
Mm-mm.
You might get it at a house show, where like Owen Hart is sitting there hitting Mick Foley with a bag of popcorn, and Mick Foley selling it like it's a bed of nails
or a 2x4
or a car,
So where we're sitting.
You can remind me of Cheeseburger all you want, Justin. The fact is that 10 years ago, Cheeseburger wouldn't have even been in Ring of Honor. The fact that Cheeseburger got over the way that he did is because he was the one guy that was different. So I appreciate your comment there, because you're absolutely right. Cheeseburger got over, but Cheeseburger got over because he was the one thing different on the entire program.
And he became the world famous CB. He wasn't Cheeseburger, it was just CB from Ring of Honor. But where we were sitting, awesome seats, by the way.
Yeah.
Where we were sitting when Bobby Fish came out,
we see
everybody started going, whoa, and
we see Kyle O'Reilly run in from like right in front of us. It was great. And the seats that we got were amazing. Like I would have hoped for 3 rows further up.
Yeah.
Because that would have been front row of the first row bleachers, which is what we always go for.
But even still, those seats were awesome.
But I mean, we were 4th row bleachers.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I mean, the great thing about those, besides the guy in front of us holding up a sign from time to time, like nothing was in your way because you're in the bleachers.
Yeah.
Like I don't like sitting floor level unless I'm ringside.
Yeah.
And I've sat ringside, and I love ringside. But even when we sat 2nd row at NXT, it was amazing. But I still had to like lean over to watch because there's some dude 6'4" sitting in the front row in front of me, and I can't stand that. But you get me on that 1st row of bleachers on the camera, I'm gonna cut it up.
Yeah,
and it was great. So all right, so we had that match. We had Ruby Soho versus Nyla Rose. Do we know whether or not Ruby Soho is actually injured?
She's not.
So it was a sell?
It was a sell.
Okay, good.
Because I went back and watched it. I don't know if you went back and watched it. It was a sell.
It was a sell. Because, I mean, she sold shit out of it.
Yeah, it was a sell. Because they were, as I was watching the commentary, they were talking about how she's working on that shoulder. She's working on the shoulder. It was a sell.
Okay, good.
But that sign did show up on TV. The one that pissed Nyla off.
Which one?
The one that said Nyla Rose is this guy's dad. And the dude that, yeah. So, folks, we all know that, that Nyla
Rose is trans.
There's no, and AEW is good about, even the rules before, they said, hey, they don't want any of that bullshit. So the guy who had that sign did get in trouble. We're all there. Yes, we're all there to have a good time, and we're all there to have freedom of speech. But there's no need to be assholes. Okay, and that was a very asshole move.
But it made it on TV.
It made it on TV.
Why the fuck would they?
Because they're right there in the camera. I mean, but you can see when the camera saw it.
They quickly. Okay.
Yeah, but
okay.
Still,
so it wasn't.
No, it wasn't prominent.
I got you.
So because I was like, I wonder if it would show up, and it did. And when the camera realized it, they clicked to another camera. So it wasn't there long enough. I only knew what it was because we were there and I knew what it said.
Now I did like the one that said that that Spectrum equals the drizzling shits.
Yes.
But he never held that sign up.
The dude in front of me had the MJF as the South Pole Elf, which was funny.
That one was funny.
So
that one, did that one make it on TV?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
special MJF came out, and it was boom right there, and you could see us kind of behind it.
Because like every time he would hold that sign up, I would like sit there and lean out just a little bit, just so that I would be like, if it made it on like the widescreen camera,
it made it on TV. But I don't think you were leaning out when it made it.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Because by that point, I was like, let's just get to the main event.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna tell you the show. Okay, first of all, folks, they started at 7 o'clock.
It seemed like it went so quickly though.
Some of it. It ended up okay. So there was an hour of elevation at 45 minutes, let's say, because they obviously have commercial breaks even on YouTube with that. But they did like 45 minutes where it was like 5 squash matches and like Sean Spears versus the Leo Rush wannabe. Yeah. And then the one match with QT Marshall's guy where on screen you can actually hear us chanting, "Let's go Jobber. Let's go Jobber." I started that chant and the crowd started getting into that one and unfortunately the Jobber lost. All right, so Chris Barrett, I'm putting this up here. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm sorry, but I feel like AEW handled the situation a bit overboard since there are plenty of non-trans women wrestlers. You can say the same thing. If you're going to sit there and say that Vicky Guerrero is this guy's dad, I would probably laugh at that joke. But everybody, Chris Barrett, knows that like literally when it comes to Nyla Rose, like it's a sensitive subject. Yeah. And I don't even know how I feel about it. Like I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how I feel about it. Now, I guess because it's predetermined outcomes, Nyla Rose does not always win.
Right.
But physically, Nyla Rose does have the body structure and the muscle structure different than any of the other female wrestlers. But because it's pro wrestling and not like amateur wrestling, I guess I'm more okay with it.
And I'm sure Nyla's been trained on how to pull punches and pull, to take care of her.
I don't know, because there were a couple moves against Ruby Riott where like she punched her in the baby maker.
Yeah, she was that was Nia,
it was a very
Nia Jax.
It was we were talking about how stiff the match was,
but it was a good match.
And don't make any jokes about the statement of stiff there, Chris. Okay.
What else we got?
I mean, we got.
Okay.
Well,
I wanted to get to the MJF match simply because I thought at one point MJF was paralyzed, and I want to say how dangerous and how nasty that looked.
His poofy hair saved his life
because he landed like this.
He landed on his head. Like literally on his head. and
everybody.
I mean,
in
there
our
was
section,
there was a ooh,
and everybody stood up because we were like, and even the refs and then the trainers ran down because we thought that he's fucking paralyzed.
Yeah,
we were like, holy fuck!
It like that when you are
scary.
When you are one of the new stars, you save that for pay-per-views. You don't.
But I think because it was Sting's first match back, they wanted just to throw everything, and I appreciate that. But you're right. There's some things.
I agree with you to a degree, but here's the thing: MJF will be nothing to anybody if he's in a wheelchair the rest of his life.
Yes,
and that is one of the problems that we have with AEW. Like Bryan Danielson showing up. Oh, let's
Darby Allin.
Bryan Danielson.
Oh,
Bryan Danielson.
He's about to be a heel.
Bryan Danielson is a heel.
Which tunnel did he come out of then?
So why are you asking me? I'm the one that pointed it out.
I know. That's what I want you to say.
So Bryan Danielson walked out the babyface.
Well, I'm sure you guys saw it on TV, but we made note of it when we were there.
He walked out and walked back in through the babyface tunnel. And what makes that so important is because when Cody Rhodes is trying to portray a guy who is like, I will never be a heel, Bryan Danielson knows that he is right and knows that he is just. And because of that, walks back up that same babyface tunnel.
Do you know why?
Because he's a babyface.
No. But you know why? Because the fans are
fickle. He did say fickle. Like
we were up there just fickle.
Yeah, I started a fickle chant. It was good. I always love starting chants, by the way. And unfortunately, randomly other people will say the same thing that I said like 5 minutes after I said it, and it gets over. And I'm sitting there like, where were you when I started that?
You weren't cool.
Apparently, I'm too old for the AEW crowd.
You weren't cool.
But either way, so the Bryan Danielson, and Hangman interaction, I was okay with it.
Were you okay with Tony Schiavone struggling to get it back? Right?
Oh my God, guys!
But you said deep in the pants. I did.
I don't know what you just did.
I actually not the table. When you said deep in the jeans he's wearing, I said I'm hoping it cannot staring.
So Tony Schiavone,
oh my
folks.
God,
Tony Schiavone. Damn it!
That did pop me. That popped me.
Well, it popped everybody for like 5 rows, man.
You said deep in the jeans he's wearing.
So
oh my God.
For context, Tony Schiavone was wearing a
skinny jeans.
Well, he was wearing skinny jeans for Tony Schiavone, and he was wearing a Christmas sweater,
but it was like
an ugly Christmas sweater.
But it was
the Britt Baker Christmas.
No, on TV it was a football team. I can't remember what logo was on there.
Oh,
it was a sports sweater, but it was ugly.
It was an ugly sweater though. But anyways, so Tony Schiavone struggled to get out of the ring and walk down the steps, and I just look at Tino and I go, deep in the jeans he's wearing,
and without a beat, I didn't miss a beat. I said, "It's I can't help staring."
And everybody for like 5 rows around us was like, dude, "Oh my!" And they're like,
if you go anywhere with us, we feed off each other." And I didn't miss a beat.
I swear you actually heard people go, "Tony's got back."
Yeah.
But
that was funny. That did pop me.
It was hilarious. It was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like an RKO. But on top of that, like so Hangman came down, and what did I say that Bryan Danielson was going to say?
You called everything he said.
I said he's going to come out. He's going to call us fickle. He's going to say that he's not going to wrestle here. I was very disappointed about all that.
Should have been the champion.
But then I sat there and said, beyond everything else, he's going to sit there and say, "You didn't beat me.
Yep.
You survived."
Yep. That's pretty much what he said.
And that's what he said. And I was like, if there was one thing that disappointed me about, well, there were 2 things that disappointed me about my first AEW experience. Tony's too old for skinny. He's also too old for the diamond earring. No, it's only a single. It's just one diamond earring.
He's trying to hang out with Brittany. He's trying to
exactly.
He's trying to get him some bigger.
So I gotta tell you, there's two things that I was disappointed by with my first AEW experience.
What's that?
I didn't get to sing Fozzy.
Yeah. Hopefully we will in a couple weeks.
I mean, I sang Fozzy for my birthday on Monday, so I got to sing Fozzy, but I didn't sing it last night because my buddy Jason wasn't there and you weren't there, so I wasn't going to sing Fozzy last night. But the other thing was Bryan Danielson called us a bunch of idiots and said he won't wrestle in a town like Greensboro, and we didn't even get like one of those moments where it's like, okay, a dark match after the whole thing. It's going to be Bryan Danielson versus WWE. Would have sent us home with that. And I don't care what anybody else says about WWE experiences or anything else. WWE is always going to give you whoever the top name is at the end of the night. And when I say that,
at the end of the night, they did give us a teaser, but we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that because that was Rampage. But even still, as much as that was a great thing or whatever, was it? Like I'm still like,
it's foreshadowing because I think they're going to push it.
I'm blown away by this stuff. But we have to talk about the trios match. We have to talk about it. Okay. Darby Allin, Sting, CM Punk. Darby Allin comes out first, right? Was that?
Yeah.
He did. And he had like
Sting came out first.
Sting came out first. You're right, because it's like, it's Sting.
When we hear it, and I finally got to see the smell. I'm like, oh, that's just bullshit.
It's right just like right in, like just in one spot.
I thought it was gonna come to the whole arena. I'm like, that's bullshit.
It would have been nice if it was the whole arena. But so, we didn't even really talk about Kyle O'Reilly or any of that stuff.
Oh, at the end.
I want to talk about that real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll get to the to the trios match. Sorry,
we're so excited to skip it back and forth.
Yeah, it was actually a really good show, But the Kyle O'Reilly thing, Kyle O'Reilly comes down, Kyle like I don't know if you saw the meme today, but it was like Wish versus reality. Talking about like buying something from Wish versus buying and it showed the Kyle O'Reilly wearing like the jean jacket and everything, and then all of a sudden it showed him sitting there like this, getting ready to hit Orange Cassidy,
right? And
I was like, damn, that's awesome.
That is.
And of course he's now the what is it, the something artist, the violent artist. Which is great, but I'm going to tell you, the unfortunate thing about guys like Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, all these guys showing up in AEW is there's only one world champion, folks.
I really think that they're going to probably push Red. I think they're going to have a stable.
Well, they said Red Dragon's back.
Your Red Dragon will probably be tag team champs, and I wouldn't be surprised if O'Reilly at some point gets a belt.
I think
he's going to shun the other belts.
I think they're going to have to introduce trios belts, just so they can sit there and have Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish as champions of some sort, because they're too good not to be champions.
You don't think they're gonna push Adam Cole to be a world champion?
Dude, I think that there's too many guys in AEW that were there in front of him.
Yeah.
And they're holding on to their theory of
or maybe
long-term booking and making the right guy the champ.
Or maybe they'll give him the TNT title and Red Dragon will have the tag title. I mean, I don't know. I think all three of them will have a strap. Your idea probably make more sense to have, so they all three have a strap.
Yeah, they'll just be the trios champions, and I don't think that that's what they're worth. Championships do not make
the
wrestler. Wrestlers make the championships. Yes. I get that. I get all that stuff and everything else. But your biggest show is All Out, right? Okay. You got All Out, Chicago every year.
Double or Nothing.
I think it's All Out.
Okay.
Double or Nothing is the second biggest show.
Okay.
They only have 4 pay-per-views, so I mean, like, you could say any of it. Like, obviously, Full Gear was one of the hottest shows that they've done, but it was the one before that we all sat there and said, "Holy shit, that was an amazing fucking show." But the thing that I want to point out is that now they have so many guys, and so many women.
Yeah.
That, like, yes, they have to have 2 women's championships. They have to have 2 men's championships. They probably need a 3rd men's championship, because look at WWE. You've got the Intercontinental, you've got the World title, you've got the US, you've got the 24/7 championship.
Universal.
Well, that's 2 per show, right?
Gotcha.
But now, like, AEW is getting so big in terms of the amount of talent that they've got that people that need to be prominently showed. Jay Lethal, where the fuck is he? Like, I saw a report that said that Jay Lethal faced Matt Hardy. That was not Jay Lethal. I don't remember who it was, but it wasn't Jay Lethal.
And Rusev, I keep calling
Miro.
Rusev. Miro is coming back because you didn't watch it, but Wednesday they did
I saw that they did a segment.
Vignette, yeah.
The thing though is that, like, okay, who's better? Adam Cole or Hangman Page?
Adam Cole.
Baby. Like, you hear it when he walks out. Like, it's all about the boom. And everybody, I mean, it doesn't matter if he's a heel, babyface, whatever. That place explodes when that hits.
You like my version of the bathroom.
It's all about the... Anyways, my point. Jay Lethal should be a top contender in AEW. Now, granted, he's only had 1 match that I know of, and he lost to Sammy Guevara. So he's not even in Cody Rhodes territory.
Getting there.
We'll get there. But again, my point, and I'm sorry I'm dragging this on, is that, like, Kyle O'Reilly, I said a long time ago when you, me, and Jason were all sitting somewhere, we might have been on the show, and I said Kyle O'Reilly's never going to be a world champion in WWE. He might have been a tag team champion, but that's not world champion. He was never going to be a world champion in WWE. He literally is one of the 10 best wrestlers in the world.
Yes.
Like, catch as catch can, stylistically, everything that you talk about, he is a guy that elevates people to the next level. Look at what he did with Finn Balor.
Yes.
2 matches, like, they both got hurt and did 45 minutes twice. Like, but he was never going to be world champion in WWE. He's never going to be world champion in AEW. If he wanted to be world champion, he wanted a championship belt. He would either done the final Ring of Honor show, and him, Gresham, and Jay Lethal could have had a 3-way dance.
Okay.
Which he could have done. He finished his contract. He could have shown up and done that show. But he's never going to be AEW world champion. And I say never, and I know that that's a long time. So let's say in the next 2 years, a guy with Kyle O'Reilly's ability and in-ring persona and everything else that they were trying to do would have never been WWE world champion, Universal champion, and still would not be AEW champion.
Gotcha. Okay.
Adam Cole could have taken a role. Now, they let Keith Lee go, so I don't know how much this Bud shit is true, but Adam Cole could have been WWE champion.
Yes. Yes.
Like, I could see him winning Money in the Bank.
Yes.
I could see him winning the Royal Rumble. I could see him, any of those things, because he is the one smaller guy in a world of giants, and he's better than all of them.
Yes.
I could see him, like, look at what they're doing with Finn Balor. Finn Balor's short right now. Austin Theory's getting the best of him or whatever, but that's because Vince really likes Austin Theory. Austin Theory's 22 years old or 23 years old. Like, that kid is going to be there for 40 years.
Yeah.
He'll be the guy that's still taking selfies at 60.
All right,
but I digress. My real point there, and I want to force it out so that everyone hears it, is that we know that Adam Cole is a better wrestler than Adam Page.
Yes.
He is. He is one of, like, I say Kyle O'Reilly's one of the top 10 wrestlers. Adam Cole's one of the top 5 wrestlers in the world. Adam Page isn't. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, he had a great match against Bryan Danielson, but Bryan Danielson carried him through that match. We all talked about that last week. Bryan Danielson is the #1 wrestler in the world right now.
Yes.
Like, I don't care what anybody says. He is. These guys went so that they could have fun in a world where people used to want the biggest spotlight for the world championship. Bryan Danielson had that.
Yes.
Twice. And almost a third time this year, right? Like, so all in all, like, what are these guys really going for? Because sure, they're selling merch. They're getting more of the merch deal now with Pro Wrestling Tees or whatever. But they're not going after the top prize anymore.
Right.
And I don't understand that. Kenny Omega isn't in the conversation of the top 10. Kenny Omega probably is a top 10 wrestler in the world, but I would never give him the Dave Meltzer scores of 5.5 stars and all that bullshit because it's fucking garbage. Yes, Dave Meltzer, if you're watching, you can come at me, bro.
The trios match. You didn't finish what you wanted about the trios.
You're right. Trios match.
Sting came out first. With the CM Punk paint.
With the CM Punk paint.
Then Darby Allin came out. I don't know.
He had like a pink Sting half face for some garbage reason. But then CM Punk came out, and when we saw that he had face paint on, I was hoping it was going to be like Road Warrior Animal. Yeah. I even said that to you. I was like, is it Road Warrior? And Tino's like, no, it's old school Sting. Old school,
and he had. If you notice, he had old school Sting tights.
Well, I said that he had the scorpion on the tights.
Yeah.
And it was blue, red, and white.
Yeah.
So it was CM Punk Chicago colors. On AEW Dynamite or Dark Elevation, we noticed a guy that had the same blue, white, and red, and I was like, it's because he's from Chicago. And it's like from Chicago, Illinois, But
what you think of the match?
I mean, anytime you're going to have FTR in a match, anytime you're going to have CM Punk in a match, anytime you're going to have Darby Allin in a match, you're going to get excitement, right? FTR, you don't necessarily get excitement, but you get a great match.
Yes.
And these guys,
or MJFTR as they were calling themselves.
I'm okay with MJFTR. I thought
awesome.
That was great. The MJF is starting to prove me wrong with his in-ring work. I think he's good. I think the kid actually has it. He's bringing it. I didn't like that they kept having him run away from CM Punk.
Yeah.
That they kept that going. Like at some point, folks, they got to touch hands. And it's okay if they touch hands for 5 minutes if he still weasels his way out at some point. Like maybe he sits there and before he goes in the ring, he puts too much baby oil on and he slips out.
No baby oil.
Yes, exactly. I was thinking the same thing when I said it. But could you like he'd be outside the ring, like squirting baby oil on himself, and then CM Punk goes to like give him a suplex and he just slips out? I'd be okay with that. Like, and we've never seen that before.
Yeah. Darby trying to win.
Oh, Darby trying to
be Sting between Surfer and Pro Sting.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know. The finish of the match was a bit silly. I know it was fan service. It was all to send us home happy from a great Dynamite, but all three of them hitting their finisher was to me overkill. Like FTR doesn't deserve that.
Right.
House show, sure.
Yeah.
You always send the crowd home happy with that kind of match. That's why Adam Cole took all the finishers from like six baby faces at NXT. But overall, solid show, great match. I really enjoyed it. It was. I looked right at you and I said, 10 years ago, did you ever think that we would see Sting and CM Punk in the same match at the same time, tag teaming? And Tino's like, no. And it's awesome. And it was. after the match, CM Punk, who like struggled to jump on the top rope at one point, actually like tested the top ropes, and he's like, I don't know why it's not working. Like, but the match ended the way that it did. Tino talked about the fact that MJF almost killed himself.
Yeah.
Sting at 62 years old took a top rope dive outside the ring. They did their best to catch him. He did get right back up. I was very impressed. But it's not the kind of thing that you need a 62-year-old doing on just a random episode of Dynamite.
I think he knows he didn't have too many matches left, so I'm sure that's why he did it.
You know, they were like, his first match in Greensboro in 27 years. And it's like, who the fuck cares about Greensboro, North Carolina? Like, you know, like...
Well, I grew up, you know?
And I get that.
Yeah.
So all right. That's all I got to say about Dynamite.
Right.
We obviously still have to talk about Rampage too, but SmackDown, I think there was only one thing to talk about the entire night, and that was
Charlotte Flair's match.
Paul Heyman didn't shave.
Hey, but he wasn't wearing the same outfit.
He was not wearing the same.
You were just about.
But all of a sudden he's I don't know. Like, do we think that Paul Heyman's going to go down to NXT and find a new talent that's the next big thing? No, I don't think so. And we know that Paul's going to be around for a while, but he almost had me convinced that he's not going to be around for a while.
Start showing the highlights of his career. I'm like, they're playing it up.
That they are, because like the whole time, like he's like, I don't know if I got any more in me, and yet I'm sitting there like, come on, Paul.
He's not that old.
You're still gonna be here. You're the best thing about this feud.
It's the best thing about WWE.
The whole feud is the best thing about WWE. But yeah, because I mean, like, because we talk about the Brock stuff and everything else. Paul Heyman and Rex Steiner. I would actually like, Chris, you weren't here at the beginning of the show. I actually said that I would love to see Paul Heyman and Gable Steveson. I think that he is the next big thing, and WWE knows that. That's why he got drafted to Raw, even though he won't even show up for another year. But regardless of that, so that's all I had to say about SmackDown.
That's it. Rampage.
So Rampage, I'm going to tell you, I was not blown away by the card. By the end of the Statlander match, I was actually tired, and I was like, "Can we just get to the main event?"
What was the main event? Oh yeah, but we got to talk about. Oh yeah, so we'll blow that. We'll do the two matches that we like. With the
Go ahead.
All night, people are calling for Hook, and this blows me away.
Send Hook.
And they walk saying, "We want Hook. We want." This would have been his second match.
Second match.
He came out. That pop when he came out, I don't want to say it was Stone Cold or Road Warrior pop, but it was loud.
I mean, for a kid's second match,
it was loud.
He blew the roof off the place,
and the whole time,
and we're talking 10,000 people or more sitting there yelling, "We want Hook."
And I kept trying to see Taz. Taz never smiled. Every once in a while, you see him crack a smile, but you know on the inside, that's Proud Papa up there, man, because they're cheering his kid. I think you got mad at that one point where he took like a pile driver or something, and he stood back up. What was that move?
So he did the whole no sell.
Yeah.
Like, here's the 300-pound dude giving him a pile driver. The kid just gets up and is like, "What you gonna do now, bro?"
So what do you think? So you think he's getting the ring? What do you think of Hook so far?
Solid. I mean, like he's the real deal. Like I'm impressed. I'd love to see him put a little more size on, because he's probably still a cruiserweight.
Yeah, but he's throwing those.
I mean, he
like suplexes.
He threw that 300. Like you sat there. So Tino's sitting there and he goes, "Oh, they're putting him against Big Boy." And I'm like, yeah, well, you gotta put him against Big Boy at some point. And what did they do? They sat there and they had him throw the big dude around.
T-bone suplexes and just release German suplexes.
I mean, his T-bone suplex on him was, or the over the head suplex was impressive.
Yeah.
He also held the dude up there for Like he just held him.
This 300-pound dude was a delayed vertical suplex.
Yeah, one of the bear country guys.
Yeah,
just holding him up with a delayed vertical suplex, and then finally let him go. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, kid's impressive. And
didn't get winded. He did not get gassed.
It wasn't a long match though.
Holding a 300-pound man up in the air like that.
But it wasn't a long match.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so I'm less impressed by that than Daniel Bryan going 63 minutes and not being gassed. But at the same time, I was impressed. I was happy that the match didn't take long.
Mm-hmm.
It was a glorified squash. I mean, obviously, he's going up against a guy from Bear Country. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, it's just a tag team.
Yeah.
He's been finishing them off with the Taz mission. I mean,
now, the Taz mission finish, I know that it's the throwback to his dad.
And I'm sure as he goes on, he'll probably just come up with it. I think it's a good idea. Just start him off with that, and then he'll probably develop another.
I would like to see him do like what Curtis Axel did, which was put them in the $1 Million Dream, and then, or maybe it was Ted DiBiase Jr. would put them in the $1 Million Dream and then make it into a slam.
Yeah. So
I would like to see them actually take like
the Taz mission,
and do a variation of it.
Okay.
I love you, Dad, and everything else, but times have changed, and so is the finish. I'd be okay with that.
The figure eight.
Okay.
All right then. All right.
But it's at least a variation on the finish.
Yeah.
And it shows the athleticism of Charlotte Flair. So I'm actually okay with that. So I just don't like the name the figure eight because it's still a figure four.
But that's better.
Yeah, but it's still a figure. But like the whole point of it is that it looks like a four. All right. So
the finish.
So the main event. And after the show, by the way, let's go ahead and talk about it all. The main event, Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship.
Did not see that coming. Did you see that finish coming?
No. And at the same time, I'm like, why? I don't understand why. I don't agree with Chris Barrett's statement here, but I am going to say that Dark Elevation was 90% squash matches.
Yes,
and even Rampage felt like it was like 50% squash matches. Now, granted, brand new guy coming in, you're putting him on, and he's over already, which means you're hoping he brings ratings. So Hook, right? You're not going to put him against the top talent yet, but put him against Fuego in his first match. I mean, Fuego's Sammy Guevara's best friend, unless they broke up too. I don't know, because Sammy's breaking up with everybody apparently. Right. Pretty soon he'll be out of the inner circle. But it's interesting because like I don't even know where I was going with that. I got thrown off with the Sammy thing. Oh, the Hook. Obviously with Hook, you want him to get some meaningful victories first. Like the kid is meant to be something. He's not gonna be a throwaway character. Like Taz knows that his son is an All-American lacrosse player, and now the kid actually looks like he's making something out of himself. So Tino, when we talk about the main event, though, Sammy Guevara is your future.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes is not.
No.
The idea of putting the belt on Cody Rhodes on Christmas night is the biggest heel move that Tony Khan can do.
I think because Dusty won a championship in Greensboro Coliseum on Christmas night, I think that was a throwback to that.
And what did I say? When you said, can you believe what we just saw? I was like, well, I think that because it's Greensboro, they wanted to do something special and have a championship change hands. Yeah. But if you're going to and unfortunately, up until now, the only other championship that you could have change hands and people would just be okay with it would be the tag team champions. Like other than that, if you take the belt off of Cowboy right now, everybody's gonna like
shit on it.
Well, Bryan Danielson's the better player in that whole thing, man. So like if this were the old world of e-wrestling, I don't know if you ever played that where you actually had to like role play to try to win the matches and win the championship. Whoever gave the best role play would win the championship, right? So in that world, Bryan Danielson would win the world championship. Like it's that simple. So Jason's sitting there being pissed off that Hangman went 60 minutes and didn't win in his first match. Well, don't put him up against Hangman and don't put him up against Danielson. Put him up against Fuego. Like put him up against 6 or 7 of those other guys like Penta or Ray Phoenix or any of those guys and actually show what he can do and have him squeak out a victory. And then finally Danielson sits there and goes, all right, well, you know what? You squeaked out 3 victories. I'm ready to beat your ass. And then you have him beat Danielson. You know, like at this point, unfortunately, you're at a spot where like Danielson's going to have to lose his first match, right? And unfortunately, like he is so good right now, that you don't want him to lose his first match. Like we're more okay with MJF beating CM Punk than we are with Cowboy beating Danielson.
Yes.
Like it's a fact. Give me a match with Fuego and I could. Chris Barrett, I would actually take you in that match because, well, Fuego really is the AEW Barry Horowitz. So, you know, sure, he got a contract, but, I mean, does it pay the rent? I don't know. Finally, though, okay, Cody Rhodes wins the match. AEW likes to send their crowds home happy, and the crowd was not happy.
No.
The entire Rhodes family came out. Yes. David Crockett Jr. came out to present him with the title because that's something that Dusty would have had happen and everything else. Sammy's just sitting in the corner. Nobody's helping him up. Nobody's shaking his hand after the match. Like, Cody keeps turning and looking at him like, why are you still here?
Yeah.
The camera goes off. Okay, this is where it becomes the special thing, right? Everybody that we talk to sits there in our Facebook group and everything else says that Cody is self-aware to the point where he knows that he's a heel, but he also knows that he wants to be the good guy. So he plays the good guy that's too good on purpose, which makes him the bad guy. That's not the case.
No.
Because what did Cody do, Tino, when the cameras went off the air?
You guys can stop booing me now.
He's like, all right, guys, this is like, the cameras are off. You don't have to boo anymore. And you know what happened?
Booed louder.
We booed louder. Because we don't want to cheer Cody Rhodes. We wanted him to say, if he was going to win that title, we wanted it underhanded. We wanted it like Brandy came out and gave one of these.
Yeah.
We wanted anything that would be possible to sit there and just finally go, boo you, Cody Rhodes.
Couldn't.
And instead, he wins clean. He beats a guy that we want to cheer. He brings his entire family out to the ring. He watches as Sammy finally goes up the ramp. Tony Khan comes out.
We thought he was going to give us Santa.
He's like, he may be back here too. Tony Khan comes out. Tony Khan comes down to the ring. Tony Khan sits there and says, you know what, Greensboro.
We're screaming, we want Hook. It's still, we want Hook. Bring out Hook.
And it's so weird because like Tony Khan's like you guys want to come, you guys want us to come back to Greensboro? You guys like what we did tonight with the Cody Rhodes thing? Boo. All right. Well, I'm not used to not giving you what you want at the end of the night. So I'm going to give you what you want at the end of the night because I think that's the right thing to do. That's what wrestling's all about. So you know what? I'm going to say it. Send Hook! And he does the finger thing and everything. And Hook's music hits.
And the crowd loses their mind again.
And I'm going to tell you, the crowd loses their mind. But Hook had no idea that they were going to call him out to the ring because that dude had a backpack on.
He's about to go home.
He had pink pants on. Like pink fucking sweatpants.
I think he knew. I think because they set it up. They set it up though.
I think it was probably going to be. There were probably 3 people back there, and it was whatever the crowd ended up cheering for. Out of those 3, one of them was coming down. If we cheered for John Silver was coming down that night. But
Hook slapped a piss.
But yes, so Hook is a heel, comes down, doesn't say a goddamn word. Cody Rhodes sits there and says, "You did good tonight, kid."
And goes to shake his hand.
And Hook just slaps the shit out of him.
And Cody's like, "You get one, kid."
And he says, "You get one." And he said, "I might even give you a chance at another one. But I don't make the matches. I'm only an EVP."
Yeah.
So, Tony, what do you think? And Tony Khan sits there and says, "I don't know, Greensboro. What do you think about the next time we come to Greensboro? Cody Rhodes versus Hook." Which means Hook's going to have to turn babyface.
Yeah.
Because Cody Rhodes isn't a fucking babyface.
Yes. Chris Barrett. I think that's where we're getting at. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the next time before they come back.
I don't know how long it's going to be before they come back. But did you notice that they're not going out west?
Mm-hmm.
They're staying on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
We got another show coming up in a week and a half.
Yes, sir.
Or 2 weeks.
To 12.
12.
Week after next.
2 weeks. We're going to be at PNC in Raleigh. And we're going to see 5 more hours of wrestling with Jason. And you're sitting next to him again.
No, you are.
No, I get the end seat.
No, you got the end seat last time.
I bought the tickets.
Well, technically, I paid you, so I bought the ticket.
But I ordered the tickets.
I paid for the tickets.
But I ordered the tickets. You were looking at this earlier, my little pin. Check this out. Because it's a beer tap.
Oh, shut up.
It's a beer tap, folks.
That's all I got.
Look at this. It's a beer tap.
Speaking of tapped, I'm tapped out. What do you got?
What do I got? I don't know. So what do I got? I didn't watch Raw. I already told you that.
Yeah.
Got the Arcade Bro moment, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, John Madden passed today, so I do want to take 10 seconds. You know, the classic 10 seconds for John Madden.
All right, starts now. All right.
And with that, folks, I want to thank everybody for being part of the show. Give a like.
Buy our shit.
Buy a t-shirt would really help. Like my TikTok, Rob Potsy Podchak. Every 50 likes or follows to the page, I'm giving away free artwork.
Yeah, I saw that.
Other than that, I got nothing. I'm gonna pull up the song. Why don't you go ahead and?
Well, you've already plugged your TikTok, so
I did.
You can check us out on the Twitter. He is at Rob. He's at Podchak. I'm HoodieFan91. We are Potsy and Tino on Facebook. We're the Potsy and Tino Show on the Insta. I am SC Tino. He is Rob Podchak. As he said on TikTok, he is Rob Potsy Podchak. What?
I did the hard work. I get to pick my seat.
Shut up, man. As always, we're to say thank you to Adam's House Cat for our theme song, which is the wrestling song.
Chris Barrett, watch the show in replay. We actually talked about the Brood Bath earlier.
Yeah.
Early in the show. So,
and you catch it on iTunes for 99 cents. And as always, we want to say thank you, folks, for sticking in. Please give us a thumbs up, a like, and share. Also, subscribe.
Let all your friends know about us if they like talking pro wrestling so that they can come in and join the party.
Buy our stuff. And until next week, folks, we are thinking. Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
Dallas. Plus, nobody ever did nothing like that for me or my dad. So I just want to say thanks.
Good night, baby. That's what you get. I hope you say. Good damn it.
To be the man, you've got to be the man. And I am the man. Woo!
Woo! Suck it!